Imagine I asked you to do the following. For each question, quickly think how you would respond and what tools you would use to find the answers. Tell me how much eucalyptus a koala bear consumes per day. How can you order sushi and have it delivered in less than an hour? Tell me who won the Oscar for Best Actor in 1984. How about find the best tips on responsive customer service? Okay, just kidding on the last one. That's what they're paying me the big bucks for. Okay, yeah, they are not paying me. All right. How many of your answers involved use of a smartphone? Now, I want you to imagine how you would get those answers if you could not use anything electronic. Think about it. Most people in this room could, from their seats, answer some or all of these questions in under 10 seconds. But take electronic devices out of the equation. The same questions could take days or even weeks to answer. For digital natives, it's hard to imagine life without answers and services readily available at our fingertips. We live in a culture that expects and often easily achieves instant gratification. We want what we want, and we want it now. This ingrained expectation of instant gratification spills over into all facets of our life, from the marketplace to the workplace. But what happens when answers take longer than a quick search online? This is where responsive customer service becomes vital. Responsiveness has two key ingredients: quality and timeliness. I want to focus on one particular aspect of responsive customer service: timeliness. More specifically, I want to explore how do we bridge the gap between what our customers expect in terms of timeliness, especially given our culture of instant gratification, and what we can realistically offer. Because let's be honest and recognize our limitations as humans. Even with our smartphones, no one can answer every question or accommodate every request instantly. For our discussion on how to make our responses feel gratifying, even when they are not instant, we are going to look at the research of those who have devoted their careers to studying the psychology of waiting. More specifically, I want to look at several propositions from the work of David Maister, an expert in the field of the psychology of waiting. If we cannot change the amount of time our customers wait, how do we change the quality and perception of their wait? Maister's propositions to answer this question include the following. Pre-process waits feel longer than in-process waits. Uncertain waits feel longer than known finite waits. Unexplained waits feel longer than explained waits. Waits with injustices feel longer than equitable ones. And the more valuable the service, the longer customers are willing to wait. Let's address each of these principles one at a time, starting with the first during this session. The first proposition, pre-process waits feel longer than in-process waits. What does Maister mean by pre-process and in-process? Why does one feel faster than the other? In short, this proposition states that the faster you start service, the faster service feels, even if final resolution is not any faster. Pre-process is waiting for service to start. In-process is once service has already started. Take, for example, a visit to your local emergency room. Sitting in a waiting room chair without seeing anyone would be pre-process. Visiting a nurse triage station would be in process, even if you immediately return to the waiting chair once your triage is finished. Maister found in his studies that people perceived the wait times in emergency rooms as more satisfactory when patients were immediately seen by a triage nurse, even if their total wait time was not impacted. Or take your favorite theme parks. The best theme parks don't just line you up and put you on a ride. They offer pre-ride shows, ride instructions, and other steps to make you feel like you are in process during the wait to board a ride. These offerings do not cut down actual wait times, but they improve the quality of the wait and the perception of the length of the wait. So if we don't own a theme park and aren't in the medical field, how do we add in process to our customer service skill set? How do we start service immediately, even when we cannot complete it immediately? While it may take a little creativity, in most cases the answer is relatively simple. Let's take a couple of examples. First, imagine you are building a software program for a client, either internal or external. The program will take 6 months to create. The build itself requires the following: 2 weeks for gathering information necessary to build the product, 3 months for actually building the product, and a month and a half for testing. If you're keeping track, that is 5 months. The first and the last phase do not require programmers, only the build itself. However, your key programmers are busy on another assignment, which is why there has been an estimated wait time of 6 months. A pre-process wait would mean asking your clients to wait a full month until your programmers are free before you start the information gathering process. So how can you convert this to be an in-process wait where service starts immediately, especially when your programmers are busy? One way is to go ahead and begin the information gathering process, even if your programmers aren't ready to use the information for the build. This keeps the process moving along from the customer's end without changing the ultimate length of the build. Let's take another example. You work for a shipping company. Your product takes 3 weeks to ship to your customers. A pre-process, less satisfactory wait would leave your customers with nothing to do between the moment they complete their order and the moment their product arrives. A simple switch, one several high-profile companies have moved toward, is allowing customers visibility into the product's movement, also known as track shipping. Now, rather than 2 steps, order and arrive, there are multiple steps along the way that invite customers into a more satisfying in-process experience. In summary, find ways to start service faster, even if you cannot end service faster. Don't let when you can realistically finish a customer request prevent you from initiating excellent service immediately. Do what you can as soon as you can to let the customer know they are being taken care of as quickly as possible. In our next session, we will look at 2 more of Meister's propositions. Until then, I hope great customer service starts today.